Jules, what do you think with regards to Paul Pogba? Could this be the catalyst that we can see him put in the sort of performances he did for Juventus? Or could it be a point where it's saying, look, Mourinho, you've got to play me where I want to play, or else I'm going to go off because, look, I've got a World Cup winners medal.
I think it's a new Paul Pogba, and I don't think he will ever go back to the old Paul Pogba, the one who was dropped by Mourinho back in March, the one who had lost a bit of his game and a bit of his magic, really, through the season with United in the Premier League and in Europe. This Paul Pogba is a mature Paul Pogba. He's a more determined Paul Pogba. He's a more evolved Paul Pogba, if you want, one that has realised finally that it's not just good to do some tricks on the ball when you play in that position, that you also need to defend, that you have to play for your team, that you have to lead your team and lead by example. And sometimes the example is, well, to defend on Marwan Fellaini for 3/4 of a game, for example, because you know that's how your team is going to win that game. And I think before, this is something that maybe he had in mind but never really processed. And during this World Cup, we really see the Paul Pogba coming to age, and I don't think he will go back to what he had before.
I don't think Paul Pogba has ever lacked confidence. That's the one thing, one department that, regardless of his ups and downs, has never really wavered. I think what you saw from Paul Pogba, or my hope from that Paul Pogba takes away from this tournament, I kind of got the feeling that when things weren't going right for him in Manchester United under Jose Mourinho, he fell out of love with the game a little bit. I hope he takes from this tournament that you can do a job, you can be outside of your comfort zone, you can be more in tune with the needs of the team and still enjoy the game, still get results from it. And if that's what he gets out of this World Cup tournament, if that's what he gets from now being branded a World Cup champion, I think everybody, Manchester United and Pogba himself, will benefit.
As a midfield player, you have to judge the game very early on. What sort of game it's going to be. Can I show my skills? Can I take too many touches on the ball? Can I delay my next pass? Or do I have to play quickly? Do I have to play round the corner? Am I going to have to go with runners? What sort of game is it going to be? That's what good midfield players have to decide very early on in the game. It's not going to be the game where I can take too many touches. Today's got to be the game where I'm going to have to dig in. It's going to be a hard game for me. And that's what he did in this World Cup. He didn't always have sensational games. He did the right thing at the right time.
And you can do that and still enjoy the game.
Of course you can, yeah.
And that's the hope. That's my hope for Paul Pogba.
Such a romantic.
No, I agree. I mean, for me, even early on in the group stages, you could see that Paul Pogba was still dwelling on the ball too long. He wanted to bring a second defender up on him and still show that he was strong enough to be able to hold off both and then try and make the pass or dribble through. As it went on, he understood as soon as he drew that second play over, he made the pass. Or he was able to just say, all right, I'm just going to touch it that far ahead of me and I'll still beat you to the ball and then make my pass.
And that decision has to come very early on in the game. As you as a centre-forward say, today they're dropping. I can't go and run in behind. I'm going to have to go short. I'm not going to beat the centre-half in the air, so I'm going to have to play a different side of my game. And that's what Paul Pogba has done in this tournament, and he's got to carry that on.
And understand that if they're putting a player on me or basically having him sit around me, know that I've got defensive duty. Let me free up my other midfielders to be able to make the game. And I think he did that a lot better as he went on. And you could see that Paul Pogba had a greater influence in the knockout stages and onward, not only with his passing ability, but with his understanding when to make the pass and when to actually dribble a little bit further.
He was also helped by a magnificent player in Conte.
Gosh,
I mean, he didn't play well yesterday because he had a stomach bug, but how he helped Pogba. Pogba could go and do the things that he wanted to do alongside Conte because Conte did all the dirty work. He was brilliant in this tournament.